welcome to yoga. My name's Emily and I'm filming from Tahoma Athletic Club today. I forgot my tripod, so I'm going to be I just set my phone up on the fan. Hopefully you can see me, but I don't want to mess with it too much because it's kind of precariously balanced. All right, let's start out with just a few half sun salutations. So opening up your palms towards the front of the room. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Let's do one more. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. And exhale, kind of create a little tent with your fingers, and you're going to bring your hands behind you to just open up a little bit through the chest. Just sitting up nice and tall. Notice your hip bones rooted into the mat. And see if you can bring those shoulders down and lengthen through the neck and the crown of the head. I'm going to bring my left palm flat on the earth and take this right arm in front of me and stretch it up and over. I'm just kind of bending and straightening this arm to get a little more length in the side of my spine. And now I'm going to bring this hand gently behind my head, and I'm just going to gently open up towards the sky here. And now release. I'm going to come through the middle and just round here. Just allow my shoulders to round, allow my belly to come in. And now sitting up tall, bringing those shoulders back and down. I'm going to bring my hands back to that kind of like a tent position where the fingers are on the mat and the palms are lifted. Deep breaths here. Now, I'm going to bring my right palm down, and I'm going to bring this left arm across and in front of me, and then up and over the ear. And I'm just going to kind of lower and lift a little bit here, bending this arm, bending this lower right arm. Now bend this top arm, bringing the hand behind the head to cradle it. And you're just going to look up, gently twisting your heart up towards the sky. And now let's release. I'm going to bring this arm down and come to the middle. Bringing my hands to my knees. Now I'm going to do some cat and cow stretches. So this is the cat stretch because your back is arched. And now you're going to lean forward for the cow stretch, looking up. So exhale round, holding onto the knees for cat. Inhale, come forward for cow. right, I'm gonna sit up tall again, and again, bring my fingertips behind me, opening a little bit through the chest here. And now I'm gonna bring the left hand down, sweep the right arm across, and stretch up and over. And now bringing this palm to the back of my head, I'm gonna open up towards the sky here. Bringing my gaze up towards the ceiling. And now round, coming all the way around. We're gonna do the other side now. Stretch up and over. And palm to the back of the head, open up. And now release. And now we're going to do a different variation on that cat and cow. So bring both hands behind your neck, and I don't want you pulling on your neck, okay? The hands are just going to be gently on the back of the neck, and you're going to round, bringing the elbows together. And then inhale, open up like a flower with those elbows. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. And keep going. A few more. And now let's just come from side to side here. Kind of like the tick-tock of a clock. And release those arms behind you, interlace them, and we're gonna open up and come forward. All right, release those arms. Let's come into a forward fold. So uncross the legs, coming to the top of your mat. Feet are about hips width distance, and I'm just gonna gently stretch out here. Swaying a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Now bring the feet in. We're going to come into Utkatasana, chair pose. Relax those toes into the mat. Drop your hips, and you're going to sweep the arms up. Move back a little bit so you can see me better. And now I'm going to straighten up, toe heel the feet out, stretch all the way up, and now sweep down to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Toe heel the feet in. Let's come back into that chair pose. Sweep up and hips down. Shoulders down. You can bring your hands to heart center if that helps you bring your shoulders down. All right, straightening up, toe heel the feet out, gentle back bend. And now fold down, coming into a forward So walking the hands forward and the feet back. Rock all the way forward to your tippy toes, pulling that belly in, pulling those buns in. Nice tight core here. Now we're gonna gently lower all the way down to our belly. Untuck the toes here and you're gonna loop your shoulder blades back and lift up. And let's come to downward facing dog. Lower all the way down, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And walking it out here as I usually do in my first down dog of the practice. All right, let's inhale the right leg all the way up. Spread those toes, move that heel around a little bit. And let's release this foot down. And we're gonna inhale the left leg up. And same thing here. Just playing with that foot, flexing the toes, moving the ankle around. And release down. Bend your knees, inhale, look forward. Exhale, come up to the center of your mat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, look up, and let's come back into our plank pose. Bring your hands forward, step your feet back, rock up towards your tippy toes, pulling the belly in, everything nice and tight here. And then lower down, untuck the toes, loop those shoulder blades back and lift up on your inhale. And exhale down, curl the toes under, bring the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. And on your exhale, you're gonna step that leg or help that leg all the way forward here. Bring the back heel down and keep the back toe curled under. Okay, now gently coming up, you're just gonna rest your right hand on your right side and lift that left arm up, coming into a deeper hip opener here. All right, let's release here and then come back to downward facing dog. So just step this leg all the way back. And then you're gonna lift this left leg up, step it through, drop the back knee, keep the back toe curled under, and just resting this hand on the thigh, we're gonna lift the other arm up and open through the hips here. This shouldn't be painful. If it's too much pressure on your knees, you're welcome to come into a low lunge here and lift up. And release down. And sweep back, come to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Drop the back knee. Untuck the back toe. And we're gonna sweep up again with both arms. Shoulders down here. And again, if you need to, you can curl that back toe under and lift up into a low lunge if this is hurting your knee. All right, let's sweep sweep down, curl the back toe under, step back, and inhale the left leg up. Step it through, drop the back knee, untuck the back toe. And now we're gonna come into a low lunge here. Shoulders down. Bring those hips forward so that the weight is not on that back knee, pressing it into the earth. That'll help relieve any pressure. And sweep down, step back, and bring the hips all the way back for downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward, holding that plank. And now we're gonna come all the way forward to our tippy toes, lower down, loop the shoulder blades back and open, and lift up, low cobra. And come down, and press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, exhale, step it through, drop the back foot down, keep the back toe curled under, and again, we're gonna lift up here with one arm, resting the other arm on the right knee. And release the hands down, untuck the back toe, and now we're gonna bring both arms up. And again, the hips are coming forward here to relieve pressure on the back, off the back knee. All right, sweep down, curl the back toe under, and step back. Inhale the left leg up, exhale, step it through, keep the back toe curled under, drop the back knee, and sweep up with one arm. Left hand is just resting on this leg. All right, bring both arms down, untuck that back toe so that the back toes are pressing on into the mat now. And you're gonna come back up with both arms. And sweep down, curl the back toe under, step back. Inhale, rock forward, pulling that belly in. Holding that plank for a moment here. And now we're gonna lower down onto our bellies. Loop the shoulders back and open. Lift, low cobra. And now we're gonna transition from here into side plank, okay? So lowering down on your belly, bend your right knee here. And you're gonna twist over to the side, bringing this leg behind you, and then lift up for a modified side plank. And from here, let's come all the way back to center and lift that right leg all the way up. Step it through between your hands, and now we're gonna transition from here into a low lunge. So bringing the back heel up, bringing your weight into this right front leg, we're gonna come into Skandasana. I'm gonna show this from the side, I think it'll be easier. Okay, so again, moving all the way over to this side, and the left heel is up. If you can't quite do this, if you can't quite get into this lunge, you can come into like, kind of like an extended side angle lunge, okay? All right, now let's see if we can try a balance. Okay, so I'm gonna bring one arm out with the mudra for concentration, and then the other arm out. And balance. All right, release here, and let's make our way over to the other side. So again, you might just make it over to here, okay? You might not come all the way down if your knees don't like that. I'm gonna come all the way down to a balance, lifting this right foot up, and then I'm gonna bring one arm out. You can't see the mudra, but you can see it on this hand, the okay sign. This is a mudra for concentration. All right, release your hands down, and I'm gonna turn twice. Sorry. Okay, so gently, having internet problems here. Coming into a pyramid stretch. Back into kind of a low lunge here, like a runner's lunge. And then bringing the back foot down, I'm gonna open all the way up for warrior two. Nice wide stance. Even though my legs are short, I'm using most of my mat here. Really wanna use the space on your mat to expand and open as you practice. Let's cartwheel all the way down. And now we're gonna walk our feet in the middle of the mat, bringing your feet in and toes out. Gently come into a nice squat here, like a horse stance. From here, we're gonna stretch over first to the right side, or for me, to the left side. Up and over here. And don't collapse into this. You wanna be nice and lifted here. Right, and then over to the other side. Again, nice and lifted. And now coming back to center, we're gonna bring the feet in, straighten the legs, and come into a forward fold. All right, lifting up, we're gonna twist open to the left side. And release, twist open to the right side. And release down. Now we're gonna walk all the way around, coming into a runner's lunge on the other side. And from here, we're gonna come into our pyramid stretch on this other side. So straightening that front leg, bringing the back foot down. Now lower down, we're gonna make our way, bringing the back foot flat again into a warrior two pose. So gently opening the arms here, all the way open to warrior two. And you're welcome to come deeper. And now we're gonna cartwheel all the way down and step back. Coming into that plank pose, rock forward, lower down. Loop the shoulder blades back, inhale, lift up, low cobra, toes are untucked. And now again, we're gonna come into a side plank from here. So lowering down, bend that left leg, and we're gonna turn over to the side and lift up for a modified side plank. All right, let's come back to center and lift this leg all the way up for a three-legged dog. And then lower it down. Let's get the other side now. Rock forward, pulling the belly in, holding here. Lower all the way down, untuck the toes, open the shoulder blades, bring them back down in the sockets. Lift up, low cobra. And now bending that right leg. You're gonna twist open, making your way to a modified side plank. I guess this is kind of more like wild thing. All right, coming back to center. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it through, repeating again. Drop the back knee, keep that back toe tucked. And we're gonna stretch up with one arm, resting the other arm on the thigh. And release down, untuck that back toe. And now we're gonna come up with both arms. And now release your hands to this side of your mat, and we're gonna twist around coming into this Skandasana, and we're gonna try our balance now. So bringing one arm out, touching your index finger to your thumb, and then the other arm out. And let's release on this side. And we're gonna make our way all the way over to the other side. Release, walking through center. I'm going to come back to this side of my mat, coming into a lunge, and then step back. Inhale the other leg up. Exhale, step it through, drop the back knee, keep the other toe tucked. And we're going to come into our lunge with one arm on the leg. Tuck the back toe, and then sweep back up. And now I'm going to be facing away from you. I'm going to twist around into my Skandasana and create my mudra. to the other side. Now release, and I'm going to straighten up into a pyramid pose. And I'm on my right leg now. I'm just kind of taking you all the way around your mat in different ways. Okay, now I'm going to step forward a little bit more, coming into a low lunge. Back foot comes down, and I'm going to sweep open to warrior two. And cartwheel down, low lunge, and I'm going to walk all the way over to the other side of my mat, all the way around. Pump the back foot up a little bit and straighten. And now bending that front knee, bringing this back foot further back. I'm going to open up to warrior two. And cartwheel down, step back, rock forward, lower, bring the shoulder blades back and down, and lift up, low cobra. And then from low cobra, bending one leg, I'm gonna open up into side plank. And now from here, if you'd like, I'm gonna bring this top leg right below my knee. I'm not pressing into the knee, I'm right below the knee for a balance. You can keep this back leg down if you need more support. I know this isn't easy. All right, coming through center. I'm gonna lift this leg all the way up. And then release down. Now I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, lower down. Untuck the toes. Shoulder blades come back and down and lift up. Low cobra. And then lowering down, I'm gonna bend this top leg and open up into a modified side plank. And then I'm gonna move this into like a tree pose almost to the side. And release. Come back to center. Inhale this leg up. And now I'm gonna step it all the way over and make my way back to this low lunge. And balance. And let's come to the other side. So again, you can stay up here if your knees don't quite make it all the way down. And let's come to center now. We're gonna come back into our goddess pose. So heels in, toes out. Coming back into your horse stance and lower down. we're gonna really work these thighs and these buns. Okay, so we're gonna lift one heel up and lower, and then the other heel up and lower. And now let's lower down and lift both heels up and balance here. All right, lower both heels down, and let's stretch up and over to one side. And then up and over to the other side. And then similar to what we did at the beginning, bring your hand behind your head. We're just gonna gently open up towards the ceiling here. All right, let's do that on the other side too. So extend up and open, and then bring the hand to the back of your neck, and you're just gonna gently open here. And coming back down, toes forward. And now let's make our way down onto our mats. Bringing your hips down. We're gonna come into a gentle bind. So take your left hand underneath your left foot, and then this other leg's gonna extend out, and you're just gonna open here. And now take this arm up and reach around behind, and you're gonna take this bottom arm underneath and see if you can gently interlace those hands. May not be happening for you. I'm gonna lift this foot up. And release on this side. Now let's bend this other leg, and I'm gonna bring the arch of my foot, of my right foot, on top of my right hand. And then I'm gonna open my arms up, open my chest up here towards the ceiling. And now release this hand behind you, and you're gonna take this arm underneath the leg, this right arm, and see if you can create a bind here. I'm a little stiffer on this side, so the bind's not quite happening on this side. That's okay. Still getting a nice stretch. And release. All right, let's come into cow face pose before we come into our Shavasana. So I'm gonna cross my left leg underneath and bring the foot towards the hip, and now I'm gonna cross my right leg over. And this may be where you end this. You might just wanna do a twist to open up through the back of the hip. I'm gonna take this all the way into cow face pose by bringing my right foot to the other hip and bringing these knees parallel. Taking the right arm up, I'm gonna reach around behind my back and then reach up with this other hand. This is cow face pose. I think it's called Garvanasana in Sanskrit. I'm probably butchering that. And it's okay if you're not quite into the pose. Whatever variation you choose, if it brings you into your breath and into connection with your body, that's far more important than having a perfect looking pose. All right, let's release on this side. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So for you, this pose might look like this, where you're just kind of gonna do a twist and stretch. I'm gonna come all the way into cow face pose by bringing these knees parallel. Left arm's gonna come up and right arm's gonna reach around to create Garanasana. All right, let's release on this side and we're gonna come to Shavasana on our mats. So gently unwind the legs and come to a comfortable resting position on your mat. Thumbs up. And just reconnect with the breath here. And try to see if you can stay in your practice. Stay with your breath and stay with your body rather than mentally going somewhere else. Walk your feet up, and I'm going to turn towards you. You can turn to the other side if you want. Gently coming into a seated pose. Sit up nice and tall. And I invite you this next week to focus on what's healthy in your life and how you can build on that rather than focusing on any missteps that you've had with your health. During stressful times, our body tends to encourage us to eat high-fat, high-calorie foods in order to soothe ourselves, and that's natural. But just see if, rather than punishing yourself and saying, I can't have this, or I can't have that, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, see if you can build. Maybe starting with getting more water, or getting more vegetables and fruits in your diet, or more greens. It's much easier to focus on what you can do rather than giving yourself rules of what you shouldn't do, because that only makes what you shouldn't do more desirable. And anything can be part of a healthy diet. So unless you're chugging gasoline or something that's not meant to be a food, you can still have your indulgences. It's all about creating that balance. Okay, bringing your hands to heart center. Bring your thumbs to forehead center. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful day.